Hey loves, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Tyla and today is Talk with Tyy Tuesday. So every Tuesday I pick a specific topic and I go in detail and in depth on it. So today's topic is going to be on closing out certain cycles in your life. If you're feeling stagnant and you're feeling like things are just not going, I'm going to give some tips and how to close out cycles and why your blessings and your abundance may be blocked. And I also want to give some tips on how to ace those tests so that you can receive all the things that you desire. So if you're interested, let's get right into it. So when you're trying to become a new version of yourself, your highest self, this comes with releasing all of the things that no longer resonate with you. So it can be habits, it can be people, places, and things. Just anything that does not align with who you're trying to become or aligns with the past version of you has to be released. So the reason why you have to release these things is because if it does not resonate with you anymore, it's just going to become a blockage for you on your path. And when you're trying to step into a new version of yourself, you're often going to get heavily tested because God will test you to see if you're really about this new change, if you're really about this new chapter and becoming this new version of yourself, and if you're ready for these upgrades. So I just want to give some tips and advice of things that I've learned along my journey and how I've maneuvered through these tests, how I've maneuvered through closing these certain cycles and figuring out what it was that was serving me and no longer serving me. So before I really get into the video, I just want to explain what a cycle is in case you're unaware or unsure. When I say a cycle, I mean a repeating phase or chapter within your life. So this can look like a toxic relationship, a toxic friendship, it can look like habits, it can look like addictions. Just anything that you notice is repeating within your life is what I mean by a cycle. Now, what I've learned from certain cycles that I've been in and along my healing journey is that it is not natural to have a cycle going on within your life. That usually means that you're stagnant and that there's a lesson that needs to be learned. So when it comes to, for example, a toxic friendship, you may need to learn the lesson of self-love, or even with any connection, self-love. Maybe there's a codependency that you have, maybe you have attachment issues, but these cycles are trying to teach you something, and when you do not become aware to what it is trying to teach you and what the lesson is, you get stuck in it, and that's what keeps the cycle going. Now, these cycles usually are the biggest blockages to your blessings, to your abundance. It can be financial blessings, it can be connections that are, waiting for you that you're missing out on. It can be opportunities. These literally will block everything. And I've really learned that from certain cycles that I've been in because I used to have attachment issues. So for me, it was really hard to break cycles because I'm the type of person where I used to try and fix and to try and do everything in my power, but some things are just not supposed to be fixed. Some things are not supposed to be in your life. And I feel like that's really hard for certain people to understand, because if it's just something that you feel no matter how much or how hard you put work into it, or you try to fix it, or you try to do your best to change it, and it just does not work, it's not supposed to work. And it is a hard realization, but the sooner that you can break yourself free from those cycles, the sooner that you can achieve and receive the things that are really there for you and the things that are waiting for you. When I've had certain people in my life, certain friendships or certain whatever, and I had certain habits that I was, stuck in, and then I released those things, it was a huge difference from my life then after releasing to before. And before, I would be trying so hard to achieve these things, I would be wondering to myself, why is things not working out? Why is it that I'm trying so hard to achieve certain things and I feel like I'm just getting nowhere? I just feel so stagnant. Try and think about what it is that's going on in your life. Try to think about the people that you're around. Try and think about the certain habits that you may have. And this is why I love journaling, because it is in my opinion, greatest form of self-reflection. When you journal, especially if you look up certain prompts, it'll really open your eyes to certain things that you may not even see. And I feel like that's what helped me the most, because certain things I did not see. And it didn't take until I started doing certain healing work and I started journaling, and I started asking myself really important questions and figuring out what it was that was holding me back, that I started to become aware and open to what those cycles were in my life, so that I can finally close them out, so I can get forward and receive the things that I actually want. So when it comes to stepping into a new chapter and you're trying to become a better version of yourself, that comes with stepping into a whole nother frequency. And the things that did not align with you anymore, or that align with the old version of you, or just, that don't align with the new version that you're trying to become, they're not on that frequency, which is why it's important to close out those cycles. And especially if it's habits, because it's not always things outside of us. Sometimes it's just us and it's just within us. Your connections can all be fine, and you may still feel like you're stagnant and like things do not work out. Check and see, like, what are my habits? Like, are there certain things that I'm doing that's holding me back? It's not to say that you cannot do these things and have these things and achieve these things with having all of these things in your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's habits or addictions, but you're not going to touch anywhere close to the abundance that you would touch if you were to just let go of anything that does not serve you. And I feel like that's what's most important. And like I was saying with the whole test, you're gonna get tested heavily when you're trying to step into a new version of yourself, and that's where it really counts. Because if you're on a good track, right, and you're stepping out of these habits, you've been continuing that diet, or you've been working out consistently, or you've been reading all the time, or you've been cutting off certain people that you know are not good for you, that's when the tests come in. Everything will be fine, and then boom, a certain person hits you up, or you don't feel like going to the gym this day, or you get sick and then you miss a whole week of going to the gym, or I don't know, it's so different. Or say you have an addiction and you love to drink alcohol, and you go to a party and people are asking, hey, you want to drink? Hey, you want to drink? Like, these are the times that you really have to push through, because that's what's going to push you to your breakthrough and allow you to receive what's on the other side of that. And this is the hardest part, I feel, because it be the littlest things, like the littlest tests that come when you're on the path of becoming a better version of yourself, that sets you back. And one wrong mistake can set you back 50 steps if you allow it to. And if you don't, stand firm in your decisions and firm in who you're trying to be. And a lot of times too, this is why I say it's so important to release people that don't serve you anymore. Because when you're trying to become a new version of yourself, and you have people that are from the past, or just whoever it is that is not trying to be on that same wave, you're constantly going to be getting reminded of that old version of you, because they're still stuck in the same habits. They're still doing the same things that they used to do, or they're still bringing up certain things that you used to do, or trying to get you to do certain things that you know that you're just not trying to be a part of anymore. It has been really hard. Like, I'm not going to say that it's easy to break free of certain cycles, especially when you've been in them for so long, and when it has to do with other people, even friendships. Like, I feel like that's the hardest, because if you're a type of person that, like, for me, for example, I don't really talk to anybody. So when I have a friendship or I have a connection in my life and I just know it does not serve me, that means that, okay, I have to understand that I'm releasing this thing and I'm going to be in isolation. I'm going to be isolated. But it's way better to be in isolated, than to be surrounded by people that just don't make you feel good anymore. Because it gets to a certain point in life where you just do not feel the same about certain habits anymore. There's so much that's waiting for you on the other side of that. And once you really become aware to the things that are holding you back, and you set yourself free, I promise you, it won't even always take that long for those new things to come in. You may be feeling like, oh, well, I'm gonna be single forever, or I'm gonna not have any friends, or like, it's gonna be so hard to break free from this habit and to not do this thing anymore. But it's really all in your head. And this is why I started adopting certain healthier habits in replace of those. Habits take time to build, so you also have to understand that you have to be patient with yourself. It's not going to be an easy process, and it sounds great, like, cut those people off or stop doing those things, or but I know that it's not easy. And I say that because there was habits that I was in for years. I really do feel like elevation requires separation, so take some time to really just be with yourself in solitude. And I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but that's what's going to change your life. I'm just going to be honest, because you know, people, they don't want to be alone, they don't want to sit with themselves, they feel like it's boring, they feel like it's this and that. But that's where the real changes take place, and that's when you can really start to heal. You gotta just, you know, just be to yourself for a little while. Like, if you feel like you even have trouble being with yourself, that's a huge sign that you need to sit with yourself for a while, because there's a lot that you need to heal within yourself, and you got to be honest with yourself, especially if you want the most out of life and you really want to become a better version of yourself. Sit with yourself, ask yourself some questions, figure out what it is that you want your life to look like, create a vision for your life, and anything that does not align with that vision that you have, let it go. It doesn't matter if it's a habit, it doesn't matter if it's people, it doesn't matter if it's addictions, whatever the case, if it does not align with who you want to be, release it. And the thing is too, the longer that you take to do that, the longer that you're just postponing your abundance and the success that you're really looking for. Because I'm telling you, like, once you let go of certain things, your life will change. You will start to see, like, wow, this whole time all I had to do was cut off this person. This whole time all I had to do was quit this addiction and quit this habit and let go of this friendship that I knew just wasn't for me anymore. And things started working out for me. So it's just like, really take the time, be honest with yourself, and let go of what it is, guys. And I know it's hard and it's easier said than done, but once you do it, you're gonna be so much happier, and you're gonna start to see a huge difference in your life, because a lot of this stuff is really blocking you, and it's really blocking your abundance. And when you really take the time to sit with yourself and to heal and to work on yourself, naturally certain things are just gonna fall out of your life, because you're gonna raise your frequency, you're gonna be vibrating so much higher, and certain things are just not gonna align with you anymore. And once you see that something is just not working, let it go as soon as you see it, because God will show you the signs. But if you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, like this video, and share with somebody that you feel may need to hear this message. I love you guys, and I wish you guys the best, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.